Run.
And hello everybody, and welcome to yet another episode of On the Run. And we're here in Lisbon, believe it or not. And oh gee, the lighting's just changed. A moment ago you could see the background behind me. Oh, hang on, there you go. It just changed and picked up the light, picked up the background and put me in the dark, which is probably not a bad thing, having me in the dark. We're here at a mystery location at within Lisbon, where we've been staying, and we have had a wonderful time here over the last 3 days. It's Friday morning as I shoot this, and we've just done SBC, the big gaming show here in Lisbon on Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday. Here at SBC, first year here in Lisbon. So as many of you may know, there are three big gaming shows here in Europe. There's ICE in London, there's SBC. Well, ICE in London now moving to Barcelona from January next year. And then SBC moved from Barcelona, maybe because ICE moved to Barcelona, here to Lisbon for the first year. They're going to be here for 5 years. And then there's another gaming show that shall not be named. And to help me talk about the gaming show, there's been two of us here in Lisbon. We have none other than the Vice President of Sales and Business Development for Inside Asian Gaming. It's Jadson Ho. Jadson, welcome to On the Run.
Hello.
Yeah. Now, we've only got one microphone, so we have to share it, Jadson.
Yeah, okay.
Jadson, a man of many words. So let's talk a little bit about the show first and our experience, because it's been actually my first time to Lisbon and certainly my first time to SBC. Your first time to SBC, and I don't think your very first time to Lisbon, but first time in a long time. Is that right, Jadson?
I've been to Lisbon for over 30 years.
Over 30 years?
So
are you that old, Jadson?
yes, I am.
Now, Jadson, look at the screen there and keep your head in the frame. There we go. We have to do our own directorial work here at On the Run. So let's talk a little bit about the show for people who watch. If you're wondering why Jadson's rubbing his leg, we have a dog here, Henry, who's jumping up and down on us. He's a lovely fellow, but he does like to hang out with the humans. Okay, so let's talk a bit about the show for the IAG audience. You picked up the badge at the airport. How did that go?
It was quite good. So after picking up my bags, I went outside the airport, and the check-in booth was just literally outside.
So that was quite a good thing for a show, an international show, to have a pick up your badge at the airport. Thought that was rather good. And then, of course, we did have a booth at IAG. Did have a booth ME90. It was a media booth. We were one of about 10 premium media partners for SBC. There are another 80 ordinary media partners, but we got to be a premium one, which entitled us to a nice little 3 metre by 3 metre booth there. And in fact, let's go check it out now. Here we go. And just like that, here we are back in time at SBC at 4:40 p.m. on day 3. You can hear the music in the background. This has been the little IAG media booth here at ME90 at the show. Nice weather here in Lisbon, then a little bit of rain, a bit of fog, then back to nice weather again. And Jadson and I are going to go off now to win the SBC poker tournament. That'll be fun. So by the time you get to hear about this, we will be €10,000 richer. Well, that's the plan anyway. I'm sure it won't happen. So it's goodbye from Lisbon and back to the rest of the show. And I do believe tomorrow I'm going to New York. All right, I'll throw now back to me. See ya. And we're back. We've been throwing, I think I threw myself to myself. Some people wish I'd throw myself in the lovely pool that's down there. We got a nice pool at this venue, mystery location where we are. Now, Jadson, so the booth, we just saw the booth. You were there for a bit of the time manning the booth. How was that?
It was okay until it started to rain.
Yeah, it was sort of a outdoor. Many areas of the show were sort of outdoors, weren't they? They were outdoors, but with like sails over the top or something like that. So that was an interesting aspect of the show, Jadson.
Yeah, it was. They had outdoor and indoor
I don't think I've ever seen Henry so animated. He's normally a pretty quiet dog, but as soon as we start shooting on the run, he's all over you like a rash. I think you've got a new friend. Didn't you get married this year, Jason?
Yeah, in March.
I think your wife might have something to say about what's going on down here with Henry. Henry, get down. I don't know, we've turned the video on, he's become very playful all of a sudden. Anyway, let's get on with the video. So, now he's having a go at me. What else? I mean, it was a pretty big show, right? They claim 500 exhibitors, 25,000 attendees. I think they were probably marketing numbers that they made up and rounded up, but that's fine. I mean, these shows do that. With the summit at the MEO Arena, quite a big arena, wasn't it?
It was very big. It was basically a massive sports hall.
Yeah, effectively a sporting arena. I mean, with the flat in the middle and then the sloped seats around, which they didn't use. So we had the summit at the MEO Arena for 3 days. We had the exhibition, which was in 8 halls. They claim 110,000 square metres of space, and I think that was probably pretty accurate, maybe 100,000 square metres of space. They had networking events on every day during the daytime and the evening. There were parties every night. What do you think of the parties?
It was like a normal industry party.
Yeah, pretty normal industry. Not like an IAG party.
No, not like IAG party.
They weren't like ours, but I guess ours, are more intimate. We have at our MADs, we have 80, 100, 150, 200 people there, depending on the scale of the MAD. At the Power 50, we have 350 people, but we don't have 1,200 people like they had at the awards last night, for example. And maybe we'll just show you a little picture now. Oscar will cut it in of the awards layout last night. As you can, there were 126 tables of 10. So if the Power 50 or the IAG Academy IR Awards ever gets that big, boy, we'll need that big ballroom at the whole ballroom at the Marriott Manila, wouldn't we?
Yes.
Jason, a man of many words. Yes. Okay. So what else? Scale of the show. Oh, and the poker tournament. You played there. There was an end of show poker tournament last night at Casino Lisboa. Oh, we should also say we got a guided tour of Casino Estoril as well. Both casinos owned by the same company. Effectively the same. Well, Pansy Ho in charge. Effectively, there's a bust of Stanley Ho out the front of both. What did you think of the two casinos?
It reminds me of when I first went to casino in Asia.
Yeah, they were kind of like what Lisboa in Macau was 25 years ago. They need some work, don't they? And you played the poker tournament last night. You did better, so did I, but I busted with Queen Jack, and I've always got a bad beat story. Flop. I had Queen Jack. The flop came with 2 queens. I ended up losing to an ace when it came run aces, and then the next hand my 8s ran into kings. So when I was short stacked, so that was the end of that. But you did very well.
I came 25th. Got some money. So
nice.
That goes to the Nappy Money Fund.
The Nappy Money Fund. Jason, little Jason on the way.
Yes.
Congratulate. In all seriousness, that's huge. Congratulations to you. Well done. First child. Do we know the gender yet? Maybe keep that a secret.
I'll keep that a secret.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. Let's keep that a secret for the moment. So, you did very well in the poker tournament. You came 25th out of about, 400 or 500 people. Did it have the number up on the screen?
I think it was about 350.
350, which it was a free roll. We didn't pay to go in it, and you won €300, and I had 30% of you, and you had 30% of me. So I did well out of that deal. So I got €100 and or €90, I guess, and you got some €210 for nappies. That's great news. All right. Well, I'll move on to a few other topics now. So thank you, Jason, for your virgin appearance on the run.
Thank you.
What do you want to say to all your new fans?
I love you.
That's it. You heard it here first. Jason loves you. And let me spin Jason's off, okay? And he's back to me. You're off back to Macau this afternoon, right? Yes. Excuse me, everyone. Jason back to Macau this afternoon. And I'm actually off to New York later this afternoon. I'll be in New York for a few days. Then I'm going to another location in the US for a few days, and then I'll be flying to Las Vegas for G2E. Anyway, let's move on and give you a little bit more. It's been 2 weeks since the last On the Run, which was with Ben at Newport World Resorts in Manila. Of course, we held our Super September event, which is no longer called Super September. It's now called the IAG Expo. And we had of course, a great MAD event at Casa Buenas. We had the summit at the Hilton Ballroom, and we had the awards also at the Hilton Ballroom, the IAG Academy IR Awards. Great awards night, and that's only going to get bigger and bigger every year. So now we have the Power 50 every November, and we have the awards every September, which is kind of nice because the Power 50 is a list, and the awards is actually genuinely awarding the best of. And some great results. Marina Bay Sands won 4 awards. Galaxy had a really good night. They won the big one, Best IR in Asia. They also won Best Hotel with Raffles, and it was very nice to see Galaxy emblazon the IAG logo on Raffles. I'm not sure if it's still up there, but it's been up there for a while. Very nice of them to do that, and I think they're very proud of the award, and rightly so. So they should be. So it was very nice to see IAG emblazoned on the Raffles building. A few people were jokingly calling it IAG Tower there for a while. Solaire also did very well. Best gaming floor, second year in a row. Best marketing program. And of course, Best IR outside of Macau and Singapore. We have a separate category for that because, of course, IRs in Macau and Singapore can be $3, $4, even $5 billion. Whereas IRs outside tend to be more like 1 or maybe 1.5 or maybe 2 at the absolute most. So it's a different class. So it's unfair to put them up against each other. So congratulations to Solaire on that. Aristocrat, best slot. Best solution, Light and Wonder, best marketplace, best supplier, great award, and also the individual awards, Rising Stars, Ankur Sharma, Jack Curtis from SimTech, and Joe Sam from Okada. Congratulations to those 3 gentlemen. And of course, then the industry icons, we had Andrew McDonald, who I think almost everybody watching this video will know, Kevin Benning, the property president of Studio City, and of course Tien Han over there at MGM Macau. And it's quite nice how the camera is picking up the light backwards and forwards in the background and the foreground. You get to see both. Best CEO, Francis Loy, and our first ever industry legend, a very popular one in Kieran Carruthers, who spoke with me in a conversation with Kieran Carruthers in the summit we had, which was really, really good. He spoke openly and directly, and I think a lot of people, including me, learnt quite a lot from that. So that was a great event 2 weeks ago, or 3 weeks ago now. And we already have the dates for next year. IAG Expo will be once again at Newport World Resorts on the 8th, 9th and 10th of September 2025. Put it in your diary now. I've got the habit of putting things in my diary now a year in advance, and I think it's a good habit so you don't accidentally put that space for something else. Please do block out your diary. Save the date, 8th, 9th and 10th of September 2025. Over the last couple of weeks, we've had some really interesting stories in the world of gaming across the APAC region. Tomohiro Okada, elected Universal's representative director and president. So a person with the surname of Okada is back in charge of Okada. That was an interesting one. Star is probably the biggest story getting around at the moment, or one of the biggest. Things go from bad to worse at Star. They've announced a loss of 1.69 billion Australian dollars last year, or for 2024. Of course, the Australian financial year ending on 30th of June. That's 1.16 billion US to say if you're doing the conversion. Have to say, they're really in a mess. Their revenue is down 11%. They've announced due to the imposition of mandatory carded play and cash limits. Cash now limited in certain areas to no more than 5,000 Australian. It's roughly 3,300 US. And in a year's time, that's going to go down to 1,000 Australian. Really small amount, only 700 US, let's say. So that's going to hurt. We have reports of cost blowouts at Queen's Wharf, the new property they just opened, partially owned by our friends in Hong Kong, Chow Tai Fook and Far East, of course. And a second finding of unsuitability for them, which caused their shares to go into a tailspin. I don't really understand why. Everybody knew they were going to be found unsuitable a second time. given all the text messages between the then chairman and the then CEO. There's a lot of thens in Star at the moment, a lot of turnover. The one little bit of good news we can give for Star is they have secured an Australian $200 million finance facility. It is conditional. It is two tranches of 100 million Australian. But if they're losing 1.69 billion a year based on last year, 200 million isn't going to last them too long. It's just going to buy some time for Steve McCann to try and sort things out there, the new CEO. And, good luck to Mr. McCann. We wish him well. We hope that there can be a vibrant Star Entertainment and a vibrant casino in Sydney to provide some competition to Crown. Let's move on. The other big piece of news, really big piece of news in the last couple of weeks was MGM applying for a license in Abu Dhabi. That's super interesting. Of course, Wynn is constructing the property up at Ras Al Khaimah at RAC. And now if MGM does indeed get a license in Abu Dhabi, well, we're off to the races in the UAE. And of course, that's part of Asia. It's part of Inside Asian Gaming's remit, part of our coverage area, which runs from the Middle East to the international dateline. And when I'm in Las Vegas, I will be having a little chat to Mr. Hornbuckle and Mr. Billings and hopefully Mr. Goldstein as well. The three gentlemen that are leading the three biggest gaming companies in the world. I don't think we really count Caesars. Well, I shouldn't call them the three biggest in the world. We'd have to check that out, wouldn't I? But certainly the three biggest in Las Vegas, excepting Caesars. And, Caesars is not active internationally at all. Canada is exotic for Caesars. But the other three all have interests, of course, in Macau. And Sands, of course, has Singapore. And, of course, two of them now, one for sure and one maybe, in the UAE. It's super interesting. Of course, MGM has interests in mainland China too, non-gaming interests. So super, super interesting to talk to those gentlemen while I'm there. Another big piece of news, the Sheraton Macau is to become the Londoner Grand. That's been the world's worst kept secret. Everybody's known that for a long time. But it was officially announced. Still will be a Marriott hotel. In fact, it will be the first hotel in Macau, I believe, that is part of the Marriott International Luxury Collection. So congratulations to Sands, congratulations to Grant Chum, CEO of Sands, and Wilfred Wong, Vice Chairman of Sands China, of course. And that's going to be super interesting, seeing that redevelopment of Sheraton into a more luxurious hotel, allegedly inspired by Mayfair in London. So if they crack that, they'll have done very, very well. All right, well, that's it from On the Run. I'm going to have a splash in that pool down there. It sounds very, very nice. And then a quick shower, get changed, head off to a meeting, and then later on this afternoon, fly here from Lisbon in Portugal to New York. Few days in New York, as I said, then off to another location in the US, and then on to Las Vegas, arriving around, I think, October 3 or 4, and I'll be there for a couple of weeks in Las Vegas, so going to G2E, but then also going to a lot of meetings in Las Vegas, which is important to do. For the rest, then I'll be back to Macau for a week. I've got some meetings I've got to do in the third week of October. And then at the end of the third weekend of October, I'll be back to the Philippines, and then right through, of course, to the Power 50 on Friday, November the 8th. It's going to be a great Power 50 at Solaire North. We're super stoked, very excited about it. The plans, I've seen the plans, they're looking great. So please do, and the room is filling up fast. So it will be a sellout. So if you want a ticket to the Power 50 at Solaire North, please do get on to the team at IAG as quickly as you can. And then there'll be our two final MADs for the year, one in the Philippines and one in Macau, both yet to be announced. And that'll be it to see out the year, yet another year for IAG. Sorry about that. We had to cut out. I had a little interruption there for a moment, but we're back. But just wanted to round off and say goodbye. Look, thanks for watching On The Run. And as I said, the Power 50 and the two MADs will round us out for 2025, our 19th year. Next year will be the 20th anniversary of IAG in September 2025, coinciding actually with the IAG Expo at Newport World Resorts. So that'll be interesting. Anyway, it's bye from me from Lisbon, and see you, I guess, after New York, after the other place in the US. And I guess I'll probably do an on the run from Las Vegas at G2E. So we'll see you then. Have a great week, and bye for now. See ya.